Aid in Dying law. The legislation lets doctors help terminally ill adults in their lives with medication. And disability advocates have filed a federal lawsuit to block the measure, arguing that it lacks proper oversight and discriminates against disabled people.
Oh, hey, y'all, I forgot to introduce myself. This is Lawless Ephelis. So apparently there's going to be a lawsuit about this Debs Law being passed, which is actually very funny because, I mean, you just see why. But this is the dumbest video I ever watched with the stuff that I know, because he spreads so much misinformation, and it's like so many arguments that are for Debs Law than what this guy is saying. But let's just watch it.
Yes, now to discuss the lawsuit is one of the attorneys on the case, Michael Bean. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I have heard many sides to this debate before and since this became law. The lawsuit that you filed claims it actively discriminates against people with disabilities. How so?
It makes my clients, who are people with disabilities and organizations that serve people with disabilities, vulnerable to steering to suicide, when what they really need is mental health care, support to live free.
No, wait, hold on. He says the people need support for mental health care, which doesn't work, by the way. It doesn't really work. And it doesn't matter if it does. First up, I think the whole idea of forcing someone to live a life that they don't seem as known to them or well to them is very draconian, because like the person doesn't get to choose for themselves or get a say in it. It's just like you got to learn to love life. We're gonna beat it into you. So it's already strike one on this one.
And independently in their life. This law is treats them differently than everyone else.
It actually gives them. The funny part about he says the law treats them different than anyone else. It actually treats them better than everyone else. Because this guy's a fucking idiot. He is. I'm just gonna say it flat out. You're an idiot. Like, this dumb lawsuits like this should be a criminal offense. Like, you have no right. Who the fuck? So this whole idea that it's okay to force someone to live when they don't want to, because you had it better. Fuck off. So I hate this shit already, but I think he should be arrested for passing shit. Right? It's stupid.
So when you walk into a doctor's office and express that you're depressed and suicidal, the standard of care is that you should receive mental health care.
That doesn't work, by the way.
Help with what is bothering you. And under this law, the Hippocratic Oath is abandoned, and
Okay, so here's the thing with the Hippocratic Oath. The Hippocratic Oath is a really dated term in ancient Rome. It's based on the name of Hippocrates, and people like to take that and change the definition of it. It's not even what that means. You just do any little bit of research. That's not what the Hippocratic Oath is. Do no harm. Okay, it's dated. We didn't have barbiturates back in ancient Rome. This is already stupid. I think this stuff like this has already been argued in court, and Pritzker passed the bill anyway. It's going to come in effect in 2026. But the fact that he thinks this is a violation of someone's disabled rights is just fucking funny. Because it's like, they have more privileges than us in this regard, because they have the right to end their lives if life is not fair to them. In peaceful ways, mind you. Like the barbiturates and all that. I know some fucking know-it-all's gonna repeat shit that this hack, Kelsey Sharon says, but she's ended up lying out her ass. But people just repeat it. They just repeat the same shit that she says. So,
this would be...
And you know you fucked up. You know it's bad when every single video is like either her on Jordan Peterson or some random know-nothing. Like, it's already a sign. Jordan Peterson is a right-wing grifter. He doesn't believe in any of the shit he says. Fuck him. So this is already stupid. So I hope this lawsuit does not get passed. I have a feeling it won't, because the arguments he's making so far has already probably been in court anyway. But yeah.
Encouraged to steer a patient to physician-assisted suicide as an alternative. There's no requirement under this law for mental health screening. That's an option, but not a requirement. This law makes it possible for a doctor in one day, one doctor, no waiting period to provide the medications. That's different than most other states. It's a fast-track system, and it's fundamentally dangerous. The only thing that sets this person apart from any other patient walking into the doctor's office is the doctor perceives that they have a disability. And we feel my clients have experienced discrimination in the medical system already. Frequently, they are encouraged to allow themselves to die. People perceive them, for example, people with quadriplegia, one of my clients, has been perceived as someone who should just let it go. Perceived as a burden, perhaps, to the medical system or society. She doesn't see her life that way, and she would like to be supported in living freely and independently.
I feel like this is bullshit. Because a reason why is that it's not like a story he just made up. They did the same shit in Canada, where they try to make up these stories to try to steer away from the program that they're pushing with the MAID and all that medical aid and dying for mentally ill people and turning up. So it just sounded like he made this up, because they do make this up a lot. A lot of these fake stories that conservatives parrot about how someone's pushed to death by a doctor, and it turns out it wasn't even a doctor that said that, or it was a complete made up story to push the program or get it removed. It's very cowardly, by the way.
But she knows that at times she might be depressed, and she might express suicidal ideation to a doctor. And under this law, suddenly,
oh no,
that expression could result in her death.
Wow.
Rather than her getting the care that she needs.
So Michael,
I mean, even if that was true, she could just say no like she always does. So I don't. If she said no, then she said no. It doesn't matter. What I'm getting from this, though, is the fact that these fucking selfish pricks, these wheelchair-bound fucks, are afraid their life sucks, so they're afraid they're gonna die, and they want to pick the suicide option, so they want to take away from everyone else. Fuck off.
Dangerous law, and that it should be enjoined by the court.
yeah, I mean, it is heartbreaking hearing your client's context to this overall discussion.
Yeah, it's on Fox 32. Don't expect it to be credible.
Guidelines in this bill toothless. Are there some
Toothless.
guardrails, some safeguards that you think need to be added in, or do you think this needs to be banned altogether?
You want to say bound together?
We're not advocating. We don't think this particular law can be fixed in some way.
Of course he doesn't.
This is a structure that basically immunizes this system from any review. Unlike any other medical procedure, doctors are not subject to investigation or lawsuits by family. They're not subject to the medical board review. They're not subject to peer review. They're exempt from all these reviews. The only review, and it's not really a review, is sometimes after they write the prescription, they have to send a form into an agency that is not allowed to do anything with the form besides publish a report. And no one's investigating what happened until after the patient is dead. So that's not a process of review when life and death is at stake. And everything about the process is secret. So that makes it even more dangerous. If it's such a good process, why is everything kept secret?
And I just want to look at the flip side. I don't have much more time with you, but Advocates for the law point out that 13 other states already allow this with no documented evidence of widespread abuse or discrimination. So why do you believe that Illinois is different?
Still bullshit because I was asking this
True.
one.
We have suits pending in other states, and there are cases, for example. Do you know that under Illinois' law and under the laws of Colorado, you can provide physician-assisted suicide to people with eating disorders, and doctors have so provided in Colorado, in published articles, and there's no, again, they don't consider it abuse to provide physician-assisted suicide to a 30-year-old woman who has an eating disorder. So,
okay, let me keep it a buck. No, let me keep it 100 actually. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. First off, it should be right for everyone. It should be. There should be no safeguards. Now I know that's not going to be realistic. Let's be like it's not, because it's not. We need our cattle. We need our slaves. We need to pay taxes, and we need to breed more babies, have kids. So it's just like they're not going to do it for everyone. I don't care the reason they did it. These safeguards arguments are so stupid to me. Because it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's draconian to force someone to live who doesn't want to live. It doesn't matter what reason you think, or whatever. I said this in the last video.
I think that the statute is wide open. There's no review. There's no discretion. There's a tremendous amount of discretion. And it has already resulted in problems in various states. It unfortunately will result in problems here in Illinois too.
Well, Michael, please keep us updated along the way as you've already filed the suit. So let us know what happens from here. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you for taking the time to look into this important topic.
Absolutely.
Boo! That's it, guys. That's all I gotta say. I have nothing else to say about this. This is just dumb as shit. I always thought these arguments were stupid. That the fact that there was even safeguards, but I don't think this lawsuit's going to pass, because I see all these arguments he made online and in court, and it passed anyway. So I don't think it's gonna. I could be wrong. If I am, I'll hold my L. But I heard he's already in court already, and they passed. He passed it. So I watched the whole 2-hour video of this whole thing discussion before Pritzker passed it back in 2025. So it's probably not going to pass. And Hippocratic Oath is, if you look it up, it's not even. It's so fucking dated. It's like I said, it's based on the name Hippocrates. So ancient Rome shit. You know, it's like it's not even credible now. So yeah. So hopefully the lawsuit doesn't pass. I just find it very selfish that a disabled person thinks they can speak for everyone else on their pain because they're afraid to kill themselves. Like, I think that's very selfish of you. You don't like your life, you're afraid of killing yourself, so you want to make sure the law doesn't pass. That's fucking selfish. I don't care. This whole thing, this ideology you push that suicide is selfish, or what about your family? Fuck off. This is why we need anti-natalism efforts pushed. Because these people are selfish for having you. They should have never had you because you were going to suffer and die eventually. So it's selfish and draconian to force someone to live who doesn't want to, and to say that they owe their family debt. Your family had most of us, either by accident, or they didn't want to think too hard, or they wanted a legacy. It's either those three. So it doesn't mean shit to me. But the safeguard shit, I already disagree with. But I know it's not going to pass because it's we need our cattle, slaves, taxpayers. But as someone who's schizophrenic, I didn't ask for this, so I'm gonna protest for it. I did it last time. I protested for it on the train tracks, and it was past 2025. I know it wasn't my own doing, but it was like nice to know people got the attention of it, and it was like, oh, that's crazy. This guy I saw did this, and now it passed next year. So I did do something. At least I like to believe. I tried, and I was thrown in the psych ward for it. So I like to know my sacrifice meant something. But it's like bullshit. It's bullshit. So, but that's all I have to say. Lawless F was out.